my name is Felicia Fallon. If you don't know me, we are in Catania, Sicily, doing a church trip. We're working with a friend. His name is Ryan, and we are basically sharing Jesus with people that are refugees in here, and like there's just a lot of loss and sadness and that type of thing. So we are talking to people, particularly Muslims, and Christians too, about some of the overlap in the books that we agree on. So like the Injil, the Torah, and the Zabur are the books in Islam that are confirmed by Islam and Christianity. And so we're talking about those books primarily with people. So that's kind of the overview. But yesterday we did prayer walk, and then we'll be doing that today. Yesterday we did prayer walking where we walked around town and prayed for people and the city and all of just what's happening here. We walked through a small, like homeless, like probably 6 beds underneath a bridge, and we prayed for the people. We prayed for their safety. We prayed that they would feel loved. We prayed that they would be treated well, and we also prayed that they would know Jesus and choose to follow God. And so, the prayer walking was a really good way to get to know the town and just kind of like see things in a different way. Like try to see things with a not like an open, I don't know the word, but like with a soft heart, I guess, with a heart that is yearning for the people here. So we did that in the morning, and then in the afternoon we did a scavenger hunt, which is one of my favorite things. I love anything like gamifies something you have to do, and so like the gamification element is just so fun to me. But we had prompts like where the fat lady sings, which was the opera house, and then where naked people go to swim with the horses, which was a fountain, a sculpture fountain. And so just like there's just fun things like that make you learn about the town, but also like in the history of it, but also just get a layout for it and like see people. And some of them too, like our friend Ryan here is looking for Bengalis who speak English, and so getting a phone number of Bengalis who speak English was one of the challenges on there. And like buying the family peanut butter because they need peanut butter all the time. And that's just something that makes us go into stores and like talk to people and just get comfortable, like being awkward with the language barriers and those types of things. Sorry, I think I'm losing my voice. It's dry. So if I sound scratchy, that's what's going on, but I feel fine. And we talked about Acts 17, which is where Paul uses the culture to make a redemptive analogy. This is the one with the unknown God, and so so some of you have seen my artwork on that, and we can talk more about that later, but he uses people's like things they already know, and to talk about God and to teach people like who God is when like there literally is a shrine to the unknown God in the story, and he used Roman poetry and Roman culture to talk about like your poets have said, you were in that for a second, sorry. Your poets have said who he is already, and this is who he is. And so it's giving people the chance to hear in a way that makes sense to them, in a way that they haven't heard before. And I think that's something that I'm very passionate about. Is like I think all people should have the chance to understand like what Christians actually believe, and like how will they know if they've never heard in that. So we started with that. It was a good training. There's lots of all the scriptures we've done have like tied in really well with why we go, why we send, where the commands came from, how like God's plan, things like has it changed, so just stuff like that where we did some really good trainings. And then what else did we do yesterday? So in my journal I have I did a summary sentence, which is we learned about the area and explored. It was kind of like the overall summary. So we got to go looking around and walking. One of the favorite things I saw was like just beautiful fabrics and like people, African, like Dutch wax print fabric, and people sewing and creating goods out of those fabrics. So we saw beautiful fabrics, tasted formaggio, which is cheese. That's the last time I was here I was able to eat cheese, and so it's kind of like, for me, it was kind of like this makes more sense. I felt very contemplated, which if you know me, I think way too much about everything. but then also like self-conscious and awkward and like obnoxious too, because I think there's this like I love talking to people and I will talk to people like anytime, but I think it can annoy people as well. So and whether it did or not, I don't know for sure, but I think yeah, like even with my husband too, like I feel like when I'm around Americans, like I may annoy the Americans. And maybe my roommate's in here, so maybe she'll tell me if I did or not. But yeah, just the felt, and I think too, like there's a like a not insecure, but like a nervousness about actually talking to people about God, because it's it does feel weird. And then but I know that God has placed me here. So yeah, and also it was cold, like I felt cold at times. Yeah, and I think like smells. Overall, like it's humid here, but it doesn't smell like some humid places, if that makes sense. We smelled a lot of fish. A lot of fish. Yeah, we had some laughs back there, but yeah, we smelled a lot of fish. There's an open air market in the mornings that has a lot of fish. So that's but yeah, so I think like as far as for those of you who are praying, prayer requests would be just that we all have good health and we take care of ourselves well. But also that we maybe if others are feeling the insecurity, obnoxious feeling things, that you just pray that we wouldn't actually be bothering people and people would have a good sense of humor and it'd be a blessing, especially to those like the refugee community here. They don't really get spoken to by Italians. And maybe they do now. The climate may have changed in the last like 6 years, so maybe they're having a better experience. But I get the feeling that they're probably not. And so that we'd be even if we're being ridiculous and silly and like Americanly inappropriate, that even just the conversations would be a blessing for people. I think that's yeah. Is there anything else you think we should add? It's not. It's okay if not.
I guess another prayer request might just be for the team that's serving here, that they could just make good connections and good friends and support, and also to be able to really feel settled in and home.
Cool, awesome. I don't know if you guys heard that, but yeah, the people that are living here on the ground long term, that just for their families and they get community, and this is in addition to what Shrissa just said. But yeah, the people here would, that they would have good things. That's a really awkward way to word it, but yeah, cool. Okay, all right, I'm gonna go. This is pretty long, so good day, good night, whenever you're watching this. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you're praying too, especially praying. So okay, take care. Goodbye.